Welcome again to Bahamian Mathematics. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share to see more videos just like this one. In today's video, we will be using the clock to calculate the time elapsed. What mathematical operation do you use to make this simple? We're going to find out right now. Let's take a look again at the clock. Here's the face of the clock. Here's the hour hand, which is the shorthand. And we start counting minutes on the outside from 0 all the way around. Each small dash is a minute. And every time we get to a big number, we know that that is 5 minutes. And so by the big 2 is 10 minutes. By the big 3 is 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and so on. The outside numbers are the minutes. And the long hand in place now, we know that this is 9 o'clock. And if the minute hand moved 1 minute at a time, this is 9:01. 9:02, 9:03, 9:04, 9:05, we know that 5 minutes have passed between 9 o'clock and 9:05. Let's take a look at the hours. Here is 7 o'clock. If the hour hand had to move to the 8, that's 1 hour that has elapsed. To the 9, another hour. To the 10, 1 more hour. To the 11, another hour has passed. And so we're now at 11 o'clock. But how much time has really passed? Well, if we go from 7 to 8 o'clock, that's 1 hour. From 8 to 9 o'clock, that's another hour. That's 2 hours. From 9 to 10, that's another hour. That's 3 hours. And when we finally end up at 11 o'clock, that's another hour, which is 4 hours. But let's perform the calculation to see if this makes things easier for us. From 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock, how do we perform the math? Well, all we do is we start at the last time, 11 o'clock, and we subtract the beginning time, 7 o'clock. And we see that 0 take away 0 in terms of the minutes gives us 0. And if we subtract 7 from 11, this gives us 4. And so from 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock gives us 4 hours. We often have to rewrite time into 24-hour time. And so let's take a look at the clock again. Here's 7 o'clock in the morning. We know that's 7 o'clock a.m. And as time passes, 11 o'clock a.m., we're still in the morning. When it reaches 12 o'clock, we call that 12 o'clock p.m. or 12 o'clock noon. When we move further to 1 o'clock p.m., we can rewrite this in 24-hour time by adding 12 hours to 1. And so 12 plus 1, or 1 plus 12, gives us 13. So this is 1300 hours. If we continue to 4 o'clock p.m., and we wanted to write this as 24-hour time, we would add 12 again, and 4 plus 12 gives us 16. 1600 hours is the same time as 4 o'clock p.m. And if we move now into the evening, 10 o'clock p.m., to rewrite this as 24-hour time, again, we add 12. 10 plus 12 is 22. 2200 hours is the same as 10 p.m. We will need to know how to do this in order to perform our calculations for time elapsed. And so let's see how much time passes from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And we always start off with the second time first to perform our calculations. And so we start at 1 o'clock p.m. and we convert this to 24-hour time by adding 12. 1 plus 12 is 1300 hours. And we subtract the starting time, which is 10 o'clock. And we first start at the right-hand side with minutes, and we subtract the minutes first. We have 0 minutes on top, 0 minutes underneath, and so 0 take away 0 is 0. That's easy. And now we go to the hours. 13 take away 10 is 3. And so 3 hours has elapsed from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Again, that's relatively simple. Let's go into a little bit more advanced. From 5:30 p.m. to 11 p.m., how much time has elapsed? Well, we start off with 11 p.m. and we convert that into 24-hour time. So 11 plus 12 hours gives us 2300. And we subtract the starting time, which is 5:30. Again, we have to convert that into 24-hour time because it is past 12 o'clock p.m. Any times past 12 o'clock p.m., we have to convert to 24-hour time. And so we add 12. 12 plus 5 gives us 17, and this time is 1730. When we subtract, again, we start with the minutes, And we see we have to take 30 minutes away from 0 minutes, which we cannot do. And so what we have to do is we have to borrow an hour from the hour column. And so we take 1 from 23 and leaves us with 22. That 1 hour that we took is made up of 60 minutes that we add to the minutes column. And so now we have enough minutes to subtract 30. 60 take away 30 is 30. When we go over to hours now, we have to subtract 2 take away 7, and we know we cannot do that. And so we borrow again to the left column. We borrow from the 2, which gives us 1, and that hour that we have used gets added on to here. So instead of 2 now we have 12. Now 12 take away 7 is 5, and we have a total of 5 hours and 30 minutes. Another calculation. This time is 8:35 a.m. and this time is 3:25 p.m. So how much time has elapsed? Instead of counting it on our fingers, let's perform the calculation. We start with the second time, which is 3:25 p.m. We convert that into 24-hour time by adding 12, which is 15:25. And then we subtract 8:35 a.m. Now we don't convert that because it has not reached 12 o'clock as yet. It's still in a.m. time, and we keep that as 8:35. When we subtract, again we start with minutes, and we find we can't take away 35 from 25, so we have to borrow from the hours column. We borrow 1 from the 5, that becomes 4, and that hour is made up of 60 minutes that we have to now add to the 25 in this column. And 60 plus 25 is 85. And now we can subtract 85 take away 35. 5 take away 5 is 0. 8 take away 3 is 5. And now we move to hours. 4 can't take away 8. So we borrow again from the 1. That becomes 0. And we add 10 to the 4 to become 14. And now 14 take away 8 is 6. And so our time elapsed is 6 hours and 50 minutes. And now it's quiz time. How many hours have elapsed from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m.? Did you get it? The answer is 6 hours. Question 2. How many hours have elapsed? 2:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Time's up. The answer is 12 hours. Anytime you go from the same number a.m. to p.m., it is 12 hours. Number 3, how many minutes have elapsed? 4:15 p.m. to 4:45 p.m. Time is up. The answer is 30 minutes. We can see that a half hour has elapsed from 4:15 to 4:45. Question 4. How much time has elapsed? 8:20 p.m. to 11:45 p.m. Time's up. The answer is 3 hours and 25 minutes. If we started from 8:20, 9:20 would be 1 hour, 10:20 would be another hour, 11:20 would be 3 hours, and then 25 minutes gets us to 11:45. And last question, how much time has elapsed? 12 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. Time's up. The answer is 6 hours and 30 minutes. And now you've solved the mystery again of how to calculate time elapsed. Well done.